Welcome everyone to my latest Endless Space 2 Let's Play. My name is Macsen. For this Let's Play, by popular demand, I'm going to be playing as the Vodyani. The Vodyani are considered to be the expert race found within Endless Space 2, as their playstyle is very unique compared to the other races. All of the races actually are very different in one way or another, but the Vodyani by a large margin I would say are the most unique. They actually have an ability called shipbound, which means they don't colonize in the same fashion as the other races. In fact, they use arcs. They never in fact actually use planets to live on. They actually just use them to exploit resources. And they're a one species race as well, unlike all of the other empires. So they are, as I mentioned, very unique, and they're very difficult to initially learn how to play as them. But once you've mastered it, in some areas, they are definitely the best race within the game. But in other areas, maybe not. But I can, go into more details about that later on. So let's take a look at the shipbound ability first of all. So they use essence, that symbol there means, a unique resource to generate population and create arcs. Arcs are used to colonize and develop systems and can be moved at any time. The actual populace themselves have a large amount of bonuses to various of the resources found within the game. Fidzy, or in fact Fids in this instance, influence, they don't get a bonus towards. They do have a negative growth rate though, or negative amount of food actually, rather than growth rate. So, the Vodyani, I think they may even have a negative on growth rate as well actually, but it's not mentioned there. They're very religious as well, but yeah, we can learn more about that by reading the description here. The victims of a classic cycle of over-industrialization, the Vodyani was saved by a technology culled from the ruins of the virtual Endless. These precursors quickly gained an aura of divinity in the eyes of the Vodyani, and are now worshipped as gods. Clothed in their great black suits of borrowed technology, Vodyani leaders pilot their great arcs across the star lanes, seeking other peoples to convert, control, and consume. They have a number of faction traits like all of the other races. They are fast travelers, which is very useful. In fact, they have more ways of getting extra movement bonuses than that. They actually have the best heroes within the game because the heroes are cheaper on dust, the money within the game, and they also get more experience than the other heroes, and actually the heroes themselves, the Vodyani, are exceptional as well. The Fearless Warriors, they get 20% infantry health bonus on Empires, so they're actually even better than the Cravers when it comes to their initial starting infantry. And like most of the other races, if not all the other races, they start with a couple of technologies. So, let's take a look at the map settings that I'll be using for this Let's Play. So these are the settings I'll be using for this Let's Play. I'm going to be playing on hardest difficulty, Endless, as I do for all my Let's Plays, and also with the minus civilization, difficulty and hard. Other than that, I'll be using all of the default settings here and here. Going to be playing on a large galaxy size, not too big, not too small. Spiral 8 is a galaxy shape we haven't seen in any of my Let's Plays so far. It's quite a big galaxy out of these. Has a lot of systems on it, especially with the settings I'm using, many constellations. We're going to have 8 competitors, myself and 7 opponents. Basically every single competitor will get their own starting arm within the constellation with these settings, which is going to be great. Now sadly there's currently a couple of issues though with using these settings. With the current version of the game I'm using, I might be, well, if there's a future patches that come out during the course of Let's Play, I'll be updating now. So what those issues are is on bigger map types, especially with the higher density maps, basically the dust victory condition is very easy to win, so you may well want to consider turning it off in your games. And it's for the AIs who get a huge amount of dust bonuses on endless difficulty, it's especially easier to win with it. I've never actually won a dust victory, so I'm not sure how easy it is for a human player, but that may be something I'm trying to do in this Let's Play with the Vodyani, because they do specialize in dust especially. So I wanted to keep that on because of that reason, but the other problem is The Cravers are pretty overpowered as things stand with this current patch. They get so many FIDSy bonuses that they're pretty crazy. The AI, they always seem to be the best performing AI in the games I've been playing recently with this patch. And basically with these settings, with the Dust Victory condition on, I've seen the Cravers get an imminent Dust Victory condition after 70 turns when I've used these settings with them on before. So that's a bit ridiculous. Now this galaxy size is quite big, so I probably, if they started on the opposite side of the galaxy, I wouldn't be able to get over to the other side of the galaxy and be able to stop them if that were to happen. So I've reluctantly decided to not include them. I'm going to replace them with another United Empire faction who are quite aggressive but not as overpowered as the Cravers. Even with these settings, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some imminent Dust Victory AIs at some point, and I'll have to stop them. A bit worried about that, but yeah, I guess we'll see if how I deal with it. Okay, so yeah, let's get started anyway, and yeah, I'm ready. Let's play. So there's an intro video which plays now for the Vodyani. I'll be quiet while that's in action, and there's a very important tutorial for the Vodyani as well. I'll read that before we start playing.
We once had a homeworld, but we were poor caretakers. Had we not discovered the virtual relics, our tale would have ended there. By their grace, we were elevated, and we strive to serve their memory. Yet, in our moment of exaltation, a false prophet arose. The Heretics summoned ancient demons and corrupted the faithful. But we refuse his lies and reject his accusations. We will see the heretic drown in his blasphemies. He will not break our will and bring ruin on our church. Only then can we shed our mortal cloth and rise endless.
So that's the Vodyani, very, very religious empire, and one of the better intro videos, definitely. They're all really good though. I really love the music for the Vodyani also. So they start with a hero recruited like everyone does. I'll be coming back to him shortly. There's a bit of a graphic glitch here with his armor appearing twice for some reason. Not sure what that's about at the moment. So we start on the Ceres system, which is different every time, but our starting homeworld is Chinomi, which we always get. There's the tutorial here. So the church on high. Let's read this then. So the Vodyani find it sacrilegious to populate unclean worlds. Instead, they live on their great ark, surrounded by the holy light, and their methods of colonization are quite different to other races. To exploit worlds, the Vodyani must use the Anchor Withdraw Arc Fleet action to anchor an arc to a system. Your first arc is already anchored, but can be withdrawn at any time for no cost. Note though, the significant drop in dust and science yields when you withdraw the arc. That's basically because you won't have a colony anymore when you do that. So the next part of this tutorial, it mentions, unlike other civilizations, the Vodyani population doesn't grow appreciably through the consumption of food. Instead, to grow, they need to acquire a substance called essence. As you might have guessed, essence is obtained by sending Vodyani craft to inhabited systems and leeching it from local populations. using the fleet action harvest essence, so they are the ultimate religious parasites. All ships except arcs can perform this task, and special modules can be added to enhance this leeching process. Now click on one of your systems to learn another way of acquiring essence. In the game files they're actually called vampires, I believe. So if we click on that, that is actually the arc, and the arc is actually pretty fearsome combat vessel as well. You can see the stats down there. The normal vessels you start with in terms of strength are like that, so they're pretty amazing actually in use in combat if you were to do that early game. Let's actually click on our starting home system then, take a look in greater detail and continue on with the tutorial. The many paths of the virtuals, as well as directly leeching essence from captive populations, the Vodyani may acquire the miraculous substance by using the system improvement arms for essence located here. This is actually a bit out of date as well. It's 50% dust converted into essence. It's not 25. This converts dust reserves into essence and can be activated or deactivated at any time in Vodyani systems. Okay, so how do you use the sinister stuff once you've obtained it? Click the next arrow to find out. So you can see, yeah, dust is incredibly important because of this for the Vodyani. Once essence has been acquired, the Vodyani population can grow. In this way, the Church of the Virtual Saints maintains a one-race credo. No other races welcome in their pure-born empire. Kinda grim, huh? Without essence, the Vodyani population still grows from food consumption, but at a vastly reduced rate. The final key use of essence is the construction of arcs, central to any Vodyani expansion plans, and without which the greatest starfaring vessels can't be built. So you can see the arc down there you can make, and 500 essence needed for the first one, and this goes up actually every arc you acquire. You can see the total number of arcs here, and the holy proliferation is actually extra population for essence, which the cost also goes up depending on how many population you happen to have on your starting worlds. So that is basically the tutorial for the Vodyani, and I'll close that now. So Vodyani are incredibly unique, their playstyle within the Endless Space 2 game. When that kind of happens within 4X games, basically one of two things happens. Either the race is overpowered or underpowered, and throughout the course of this Let's Play you'll see which that is. So let's take a look at the other things going on here then. So it's actually, we started with 2 luxuries, which is pretty rare when I start in homeworld to start out. So super spuds, which is dust related actually, or at least makes things cheaper, ships and improvements. And deciduous trees, that actually increases dust amount. So I'd say we've been pretty lucky here with our starting location. May well want to use that. To be honest, the starting luxuries arguably aren't that great for the Vodyani though, because they tend to have less population than other empires. So I may use that, I may not. I probably will use it, but we'll see. So the Vodyani as well, if we take a greater look in here, you can see how long it's going to take to get another population, 60 odd turns. We actually start with 2. Now it actually works in a weird way, this, because these populations aren't really on these planets. They're in arcs above, well, the arc above the planet. So they're just using the planets to extract resources from, and don't actually live there. So when you actually gain a new population, yeah, you gain a populace for each of the planets, even though they're not really there. And later system developments unlock the more population here as well, which I think is the case no matter which empire you're playing as. We're lucky enough as well to start with 2 planets that are already exploitable, which would normally be colonizable, but yeah, exploitable in this circumstance. The ocean and the tundra. And there's a bit of narration as well coming up here. I'm going to allow that to play before proceeding on within. So let's click that.
The violent rebellion of the heretic, though long ago, left scars that have only recently healed. Now as you once more look outward, you hear reports of star systems full of wealth, alien populations rich with essence, and endless ruins to explore and venerate. Your faith is your North Star that guides you, as the responsibility of your church weighs on the shoulders of your holy cloth. May the virtual saints guide you.
Okay, so I'd say so far this is looking like a good start. Definitely like the Sidious. I'd probably either that or Janix, which is extra production, would be my preferred luxury resource to start with Vodyani. Basically the key thing with them though is being able to leech, gain essence from other minor civilizations and major civilizations. So I desperately, if this is going to be a really good start, I need a minor race near to me. It's pretty important actually that we start gaining essence as quickly as possible, because yeah, without the essence I can't colonize and my population won't grow at all very quickly without it. It's really the key thing with the Vodyani. So with that in mind, what I'm actually going to do, well basically it kind of depends what I would, in a different circumstance, if I'd started with only one planet here and I'd be earning less money, I basically wouldn't do this, but I'm actually going to make a change to the arc here straight away. If I didn't have two colonies, I would just add a probe to my hero probably and stick him on a ship. I'm still going to stick him on a ship actually, but I'll talk more about that later. So I'm going to make a change to the arc anyway, the template. I'm going to take some of these modules off. Now what the arc has that's really unique is these support modules. Now these give bonuses to the colony, to the arc, in one way or another, and you can acquire more of these in the tech tree later on. So the one which I went at the start of the game is this one, for extra essence. I'm actually going to load this up here. You can see the upgrade cost there, 114. I'm going to apply that, and I'm going to save up to add that. So I'll be able to basically get essence rolling straight away, even if I'm not able to find a minor civilization. If I can't find a minor civilization, then at least we'll be getting some. So because of inflation, it's probably going to take 2 turns. In fact, I think it would take 2 turns without it anyway. So let's use my hero anyway. I'm going to group this fleet up. Now you start with Scout with the Vodyani and a Leecher. The Leecher is the thing that has, well, if I double click this and go into the screen, this is the ship that's usually used to gain extra essence, but you can actually use other ships to stick that on as well, potentially. Let's stick the hero on here. So yeah, I'm going to have this hero, well, he's a Guardian, which is normally used to for fleets. I'm going to start him out on this fleet as well. It's pretty important that I do that because minor civilization ships would wreck this fleet early on if I don't. Now I need to find out which direction to go. I would love to actually spend money buying a probe for the hero, and I would have done that if basically I'd only started with one colony, because I wouldn't be able to afford the upgrade to the arc anytime soon without 2 on the go. It's definitely going to help. It's not much there though, to be honest, even with that situation. So I'm going to start out by using expeditions, perhaps, depending on what's here. That ice, we wouldn't actually get all that soon, and there's none to do here, so I'm not going to use expeditions on that. I'm going to send out probes. I'm going to send, where are we anyway? Southwest, in this arm, which is the Vulpecula constellation. Okay. I'll send one probe out there. Let's send one probe out there, and I think that's used all my movement. So yeah, really would have liked to have seen a minor race, but we haven't found one so far. So the hero later on, yeah, I'm going to start him out as on a ship basically, but later on I may well use him as a governor, even though he's a guardian. Reason why I think that is a good idea is because of this trait and that trait. They are 2 of the best governor traits within the game, and this guy has both of them. We saw this in my last Let's Play with the Cravers, absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing as well. So for the short term, he's going to help out on the ship. Long term, he's going to go back on the as a governor. So amount of movement there. That's done. That's done this turn. This is our homeworld. I won't read this, but it gives a bit of backstory if you want to pause and check that out. If you weren't interested in reading it. Let's check out this and put something on here as well. I'm going to start out getting our dust and science up. Research, very important, but you know what? Before I come to that, let's not forget this. I can enact the law, and I'm going to want to use super tax, which is extra dust per populace. This number of populace here says only 1, but in reality I've actually got, it's going to count as 2 for the dust law at least. It's kind of weird how this works, but yeah, in terms of influence for the laws, it counts that number. So that's a bit of an oddity. They start with Federation, which is extra systems and 2 representatives in the Senate. You can change that later on though. So 63% content, that's a lot actually. That's a surprising amount, that's not more than normal. You know what, I might turn off the dust one and put on the happiness one in a minute. Yeah, wouldn't normally be that amount. I must be getting a bonus to approval of that, is it? I don't know, I seem to be getting something off. It says plus 15 off planet. Plus 20 on that for some reason. Yeah, it's got to be that. It's working already for some reason. Okay, for research I'm going to pick up the titanium, which we don't have sadly, or Hyperium, but there is one expedition I haven't done. So with the Vodyani, there's no planet specialization. All of those are removed from the tech tree. There's no terraforming, all of that's removed because they are ship bound, and there's a lot of ship bound related things here. The colonizing techs work in a very different way. You get them immediately. You don't have to use production to build the colony. In effect, you start exploiting the resources straight away. So these are, well, they're important for every race, but for the Vodyani they're very important. So that's a bit of a difference with them. And yeah, I can talk more about the tech tree coming up, can't I? So let's end a turn. Right, so we earned 16 that turn. I don't think I can upgrade the arc this turn. Found another constellation, great, looks quite decent as well. Right, 124 I need. So I think this turn I'm actually going to, well, the probes come back after, it's going to be another turn before I get a probe back. So I'm going to move this up here and hope to find a minor race. Desperately need to find a minor race as quickly as possible. So where are we exactly? Looks almost like we're on 2 arms here, but yeah, maybe not. Shouldn't be. Right, let's end a turn. Okay, there's so much to discuss with the Vodyani that if I've forgotten anything, I'll cover it at some point. There's actually a lone constellation out over here. Right, and this turn actually have enough dust to upgrade the arc, so I'm going to do that. 124. Now, when I actually upgraded the arc, I took off all the weapons and all of the defense. The reason why I did that is because it would have been too expensive otherwise, and I just needed to get the essence. So this is defense, has no defense now. If it were attacked, I would lose it, but there's no real risk of that at the moment. So let's come out of there as well. I am going to make a change to the wheel as well. So I'm going to stick rockets on this for the time being. Longer term, beams are probably best for the Vodyani, but yeah, the damage per second is very, well, this is the second most damage per second, which is kind of the key thing I look for. That is actually better, but it's only short range. It doesn't fire at medium or long, which is an issue. I'm going to replace that as well for future ones. These I make with a shield. The enemy minor race pirates tend to use energy weapons, I found. I'm actually going to make a change to my tactics as well, since I'm going to use rockets early on. I'm going to want barrage fire to replace turtle, which is mainly short range, and that'll be free, that change. Okay, right, let's my approval was good, wasn't it? So this is unusual. The Vodyani, I'm going to take that off now slightly lowers dust and actually enact Toys for Boys, extra approval, -10 science though, but because I've got up to 85%, I'm getting bonuses to dust and science, 30%. So yeah, that's great, which is much better than that dust law would have been. Okay, so this is a really good start so far, apart from the fact I haven't found a minor race. And oh, and you know what I forgot to do this turn? I forgot to unanchor the arc, because that essence upgrade didn't actually kick in there before you do that, which is kind of strange. I think that's a new change as well. So I was getting like bonus to influence and maybe dust or science before. I've lost that now, but we're getting the essence at least, which is incredibly important for the Vodyani. If you're not getting a lot of this essence, then you're not going to do well. It's that simple. And I still haven't found the miner, which is worrying. I am going to move up here. I'm tempted to throw out a probe. Okay, I'm not even sure I can easily click on that. Yeah, it's quite difficult. Okay, there's the main quest now, which is going to fire this turn. So a bit of reading to do, since it's pretty important. Solo quest started, Chapter 1, Church and Cloth, Part 1. Brother Ateb was caught gorging on the slaves today. He shall be forbidden sustenance for 3 days. His suit receptors deactivated. All must obey the laws. It's a great and lonely thing to rule the Vodyani Protectorate, a heavy responsibility that I wear with pride. We have but our faith and our suits, our cloth, which protects and maintains our spirits during our holy efforts. To guide the faithful, discipline those who stray, and punish those who preach heresy. And of all those heretics who must be punished, Isyander Shemed, the infidel, is the greatest. He is also my brother. He who fomented a rebellion, freed the slaves, stole a ship, and crippled the protectorate for decades. He who discovered the tabernacle of lies, and believed every word of it. The day will come when all deeds are counted and tallied in the great network that binds us together, and on that day the infidel will burn, even if it must be by my own hands, even if he is my brother. But that day is not yet come, and by their will I hope it does not come soon, for we have much to prepare, a system to pacify, a new galaxy to civilize, the ignorant to convert, the infidel to punish. The rigors of faith permit us no rest. My faith burns with the flame of 1,000 suns, and no power in the galaxy will deter me. The prestors and custos will see to the faithful. I must look outward to secure our new home. Those who are here must come to accept us and learn our ways. Our first step is to deal with those who cannot understand reason, history, and the laws. They are pirates and shall be dealt with, as will all brigands and unbelievers. So there's basically pirates on the loose. We have to deal with them. We get a 50 reward of Hyperium once we do it. And it's pretty important that we do it. So sadly, looks like I've bypassed them already. That's actually a good reason to not move too far away from the home system initially and just like lob out probes. Maybe I should have done that. It's definitely something you should consider. But it's also the desire to find the minor race to get essence straight away. So I think I'll do that basically with my first arc. I use the arc to kill the pirates. That's what I'm going to do. So let's end the turn. Get that completed. Get that completed. It's going to be great. But no minor civilization, and the longer we go out without it, the weaker our start's going to get, I'm afraid. Okay, still haven't found one. Right, down. Oh, we found 2 more constellations though. Should be, well, there will be another faction in each of those. Okay, you can see the score down there. Our hero has gained a level, but I don't want to use it yet, because I want to stick them on there eventually, so yeah, there's no point in spending it. Right, so we picked up those resources. Well, that's which allows to get the titanium resource. I'm actually going to stick that here then, straight away. So we have a cold world, a temperate and a fertile world. This is very good for temperate and fertile. So I'll get an extra 40 production that will give me. Pretty damn important. We got the science upgrade as well. I should mention as well, if you're completely new to Endless Space 2, the Let's Play I did with the soft ones kind of goes over the basics of the game. You should probably check out at least the first video, or maybe the first few videos if you're new at some point. Or you could just keep on watching this, whatever you want basically. Right, so after getting that, often I would go for that if I had Hyperion, but I haven't seen the source of it. We really need to check out the planets really to figure out what I want. So there's, we got both of those. It's ice and lava. Ice is relatively near, lava is a bit far away. Gemini, ash, savannah, gas. Okay, it's like a slideshow of the planets here. Some of these are easier to exploit than others. I've gotten a lot of lava and ash by the looks of it, which means we're gonna have a very good productive start, but they're very bad on approval. So that could be a bit of an issue. Yeah, there wasn't any ones near an attack tree then. I think I don't. Yeah, so I'm gonna go for that next. There's some very important stuff down here. This whole part of the tech tree for Vodyani is probably more important for them than other races actually. It's important for everyone though. Right, let's end the turn. Okay, let's move on. Right. And luckily, yeah, we're getting up in this, but not as quickly as I would be if I'd found a miner. Let's come up here. I've hit my probe cap, so I'm very tempted then to send some out, but just need to find that miner race. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if I've been recording for about half an hour, so I'd say we got off to a nice start apart from the fact we haven't found a miner race yet. If I can find one here, well, yeah, then things will be going better. I guess I'll find out if I do in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed this first video of this Let's Play series, and you'd be really helping me out if you were to leave this video a like and future videos, as that helps to boost my videos in YouTube search rankings, so people can actually find my videos in the first place via the search feature, or it's more likely to turn up in suggested videos as well down the sidebar. If you are to do that, more likes and videos video gets, the better basically. So yeah, thank you if you did decide to like my videos or even share them, should you wish. Other than that, I should mention, if you're new to the channel, you may want to consider subscribing. There's tons more content for Endless Space 2 on the channel, and there'll be plenty more to come. Also, I've done loads of other games as well, especially for 4X. Check out my homepage or the playlists. There's bound to be something else that you'll be interested in there. Also, if you want to use the comment section just to say hi or ask a question, please do so. I respond to questions on all my videos, no matter how old the video is. I also have a Twitter page these days. If you want to follow me on there, if you're interested in Twitter, then that would be great. And also, I should mention that I have a Patreon page. Patreon is a service that allows people to support various creative content providers, whether on YouTube or on other sources as well. So basically, a donation, $1 or more, would go a massive way to helping out the channel. I rely on a number of patrons already who have been absolutely amazing, and without them the channel probably wouldn't be going still, because of declining ad revenues on YouTube and ad apocalypse and various issues on YouTube recently which haven't helped. So if you do decide to become or check out my Patreon page, I'm really grateful for that. Right, that's it then for this first video of this Let's Play series. In the next video I'll be looking for that minor race, so I'm really hoping I find it as soon as possible. And then we'll start making some arcs and getting our population up and getting more science and so on. So I'd just like to thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next time.